They said loyalty built OTF. But what if loyalty was the first thing that broke it? Because behind the chains, the fame, and the family forever talk, something dark's been brewing inside Lil Durk's circle. Whispers, silent looks, unfollowed accounts, and deleted posts. It all started to look less like brotherhood and more like betrayal. For years, Durk carried the crew on his back, paying bonds, feeding families, keeping everybody relevant. But now, insiders are saying that same love turned toxic. One OTF member allegedly told a blogger, "He stopped being one of us and started being bigger than us." And the streets are talking. They're saying the reason Durk went quiet wasn't just grief, it was guilt. A hidden betrayal inside his own camp that nobody saw coming. Some say money started vanishing. Others say a deal got cut behind his back. But one thing's for sure, what started as a brotherhood in Chicago turned into a battlefield. So what really happened behind closed doors? Who switched up first? And why are former OTF members now turning their backs on the man who gave them everything? Stay locked in, because what's about to unfold will change how you see Lil Durk forever. They say every empire falls from within, and for Lil Durk, that moment came when the same people who once called him bro started whispering behind his back. At first, it was little things, missed calls, half-hearted verses, fake smiles at shows. But when the money slowed down and the pressure rose, loyalty started feeling like a myth. If you know OTF, you know it wasn't built overnight. It came from pain from the South Side, from the kind of hunger that turns kids into legends and friends into soldiers. But when Durk went mainstream, when the deals got bigger and the features started rolling in, something changed. That street brotherhood turned into business, and business doesn't forgive. One insider close to the camp said, after Vaughn died, everything shifted. People stopped trusting. It wasn't about the music anymore. It was about who could eat the fastest. See, King Von's death didn't just break hearts, it cracked the foundation of OTF. Behind the scenes, Durk was fighting to hold everyone together while the world watched him mourn publicly. But privately, he was reading messages, screenshots, DMs, receipts, showing people he once protected were now leaking info to blogs. That's when the betrayal started. They say it began with a show money split. Durk was performing in Atlanta when a promoter sent $90,000 for a set. Only $60,000 reached Durk's team. The rest vanished. When his manager confronted one of the crew members, he blamed miscommunication. But Durk knew the math. He'd been in the game too long. A week later, that same crew member posted a new chain, custom OTF pendant, same design, heavier diamonds. Fans noticed before Durk did. "Where he get that from?" someone commented. The post disappeared hours later. That's when Durk realized somebody inside was moving dirty. He called a meeting, not public, not online, just him, a few trusted ones, and the man everyone thought was stealing. "If you ever snake me," Durk said quietly, "remember who fed you." The room went silent. Nobody looked up. But from that night, tension never left. People close to Durk say he became distant, more protective of his circle, less trusting. He stopped posting random faces, started moving with fewer people. One homie said, "Bro used to bring 10 people to a show. Now it's 4. He learned the hard way, love don't mean loyalty." Then came the studio leaks. Unreleased OTF tracks started surfacing online, verses that were supposed to drop with Lil Baby and Future. Somebody was sending files to outsiders. Durk didn't say a word publicly, but inside the camp, paranoia spread fast. Everyone was blaming everyone. One person whispered, "It's Memo bro. He's salty about the label deal." Another shot back, "Nah, it's Buka. He ain't been the same since Durk stopped pushing his tape." Meanwhile, Durk sat back, watching. He started cross-checking dates, who was in the studio, who had the files, who left early. And slowly, the picture started forming. It wasn't just about leaks. It was about control. Because while Durk was building his brand, signing new artists, and expanding only the family into a legit label, some older members felt left out. They wanted power, the kind Durk held. But the problem is, there's only room for one leader. According to another insider, The real split happened during a private conversation between Durk and one of his day ones. The argument? Who controlled OTF's masters? The source claimed Durk said, "This my blood, my name. Y'all can eat, but don't play with ownership." The other man replied, "Without us, there ain't no OTF." That night ended with slammed doors and silence. Days later, Durk unfollowed several of his own members on Instagram, and fans noticed instantly. OTF breaking up trended for 2 days straight. But instead of clearing the air, Durk went quiet. That silence said more than any post could. Meanwhile, old friends started airing out private details on live streams. One ex-affiliate went on IG Live saying, "Man, Durk ain't who he say he is. He switched up once he touched real money." Another started dropping subliminals in songs, lines about betrayal, money, and fake brothers turning bosses. And still, Durk said nothing. He just kept working, dropping singles, buying property, staying low. But behind closed doors, he was keeping notes. Literally. A small black notebook full of names, dates, and amounts owed. One engineer told a YouTuber he started tracking everything himself. Every dollar, every verse, every appearance. He knew somebody inside was bleeding him slow. Then came the moment that changed everything, the Atlanta betrayal. Durk had flown some of the crew out to record for his next project. It was supposed to be a comeback, new sound, new focus, tighter circle. But during those sessions, something went down. A local DJ leaked an unheard snippet that no one outside that studio should have had. The song? A diss aimed at snakes in the grass. Fans caught it fast. Durk talking about his own team, one tweet said. Another read, "Somebody in OTF done him dirty FR." By the next day, that DJ's account was gone, deleted. But the damage was done. Inside OTF, it was chaos. People pointing fingers, deleting DMs, leaving Atlanta early. Durk reportedly confronted one of his closest friends, asking straight up, "You leaking music for clout?" The guy denied it, swore on everything. But Durk wasn't convinced. "If I find out you did, you done," he said. And that's when one of the coldest moves in OTF history happened. Durk cut off 3 members in silence. No posts, no tweets, no statements. He just stopped showing up with them. No more shoutouts, no more tags, no more chains. Fans started piecing it together. Why Brody ain't around no more? Why they ain't on the new tape? Then one of those former members dropped a snippet of his own, a track titled "Loyalty Don't Pay." In it he rapped, "I fed the wolves till they bit my hand / now I stand alone, still the man." The internet lost its mind. Everyone thought it was aimed at Durk. And maybe it was. But what nobody realized is that Durk had already planned his next move. He wasn't just going to respond in music. He was going to expose the betrayal without saying a word. The following week, Durk showed up to a private event wearing a chain that read OTF Reborn. Not OTF, only the family. OTF Reborn. And just like that, speculation turned into confirmation. The original crew was done. Now people started asking, what exactly happened that made Durk turn on his own? That's when a clip from an unreleased documentary surfaced. A camera caught Durk backstage whispering to a friend, "You can't trust people who love your shine more than they love you." That one line broke the internet. Blogs reposted it everywhere. Durk exposes OTF betrayal. New wave coming. The truth behind the split. But little did fans know, this was only the beginning, because what happened next would drag old friends, blood ties, and street politics into one of the messiest betrayal Chicago rap has ever seen. When Durk showed up with that new OTF Reborn chain, it wasn't just jewelry, it was a message. A warning shot. Everyone who'd ever doubted his loyalty suddenly realized he wasn't playing anymore. Fans went crazy online. Comments like "Bro just reset the whole family," and "He really cut them off quiet" style flooded the internet. But not everyone was celebrating. The people who'd been left out, the ones Durk quietly dropped, they felt humiliated. One of them, an OTF member who used to post beside Durk daily, suddenly started going live every night. He didn't say names, but his words said everything. It's funny how they scream loyalty till the money get real. We built that name together. Ain't no Rebirth without the originals. Fans didn't need him to say more. They knew exactly who he was talking about. Then came the subliminals. OTF affiliates started dropping tracks with lines like "You changed for the bag, I stayed for the block, and it's lonely at the top when you leave your brothers at the bottom." It was all over the blogs within days. Durk versus OTF? The family war nobody saw coming. But what really lit the fire was a leaked phone call that surfaced 2 weeks later. In the audio, you could hear a familiar voice, allegedly one of Durk's ex-homies, saying, "He stopped cutting the checks. Bro said we wasn't pulling numbers. Like we ain't risk our lives for that name." Fans started connecting dots. Maybe this wasn't about loyalty at all. Maybe it was about business. According to someone close to the label, Durk had tightened OTF's payroll. Every artist now had to show actual numbers to get paid, no more homie stipends. It was about results. That didn't sit right with some of the day ones who weren't charting anymore. The split became personal. One insider told a Chicago blog they wanted fame without grind. Durk wanted structure. That's where it broke. Meanwhile, Durk kept his mouth shut. No interviews. No lives. Just music and silence. But that silence got loud when a diss track dropped from one of his former affiliates. The song was called "Family Don't Mean Forever." In the track he rapped, he traded love for label checks, forgot who got him there. It didn't take long for fans to realize who he was talking about. Within hours, the clip hit Twitter. Thousands of comments. "Ain't no way he talking about Durk like that." This getting messy. And while social media was eating it up, Durk was already making his countermove. A week later, he released a snippet on Instagram with a caption that said, "If you feel guilty, I ain't even talking to you." The verse? Cold-blooded. They only love you when the money's split / they hate the hand that built their hit / I gave you light. You gave me shade / you envy what you helped me make. That 4-line preview did more damage than a full diss track. Because it wasn't rage, it was calm. Calculated. Fans flooded the comments. He talking about Memo. He dissing Buka. He clearing the air in poetic form. And right as everyone thought the beef had peaked, something even bigger dropped. A leaked group chat screenshot. In the messages, someone accused Durk of blocking certain artists from releasing music under the OTF banner. The reason? They allegedly didn't clear paperwork or had unpaid balances. But the way it read made it look like Durk was shutting people out on purpose. Then, a burner account posted a long thread claiming Durk had manipulated the contracts and kept masters under his own LLC. The thread went viral instantly, over 100,000 reposts in a day. But here's the twist. The IP address behind that burner belonged to someone who used to live with Durk. Fans went wild. It's an inside job. Bro's own circle trying to cancel him. Even the blogs started spinning it. Headlines like "OTF Civil War Escalates" and "Durk's Camp Imploding from Within." And while all that was happening online, Durk went live for the first time in months. He didn't mention names, but the energy said it all. He looked straight at the camera and said, "You can't expose me when I was real the whole time. You can't say I changed when y'all stopped grinding." The live ended after 2 minutes. That's all it took to shift the internet. Suddenly, people started flipping sides, saying maybe Durk was right. Maybe the crew just couldn't handle success. Then, out of nowhere, a mysterious YouTube channel dropped a behind-the-scenes vlog from old OTF days, showing Durk buying his homies' cars, paying rent, and covering studio bills. The caption read, "This what loyalty looked like before envy." That video hit 1 million views overnight. Now everyone was asking the same question. If Durk did all that for them, why turn against him? That's when an anonymous source, someone claiming to be from the inner circle, reached out to multiple outlets saying, "It ain't about money, it's about betrayal." According to that source, one of the closest OTF members allegedly started leaking unreleased songs to rival camps, and worse, giving up personal info on Durk's travel plans. Durk found out too late, the source said. He confronted him, but the damage was already done. That leak wasn't just betrayal, it was dangerous. Because around that time, Durk's house in Atlanta got swatted, fake reports to police, just days after a private jet photo of his location went viral. Some fans now believe that leak came from the same friend he'd kicked out the crew. And after that incident, Durk changed everything. New number, new team, new studio. Even his demeanor shifted. No more flashy lives, no more casual posts. It was all business. One of his security guards told a YouTuber he moved like a CEO now, not a rapper. He trusts paperwork more than people. But the people he left behind? They weren't letting go quietly. An ex-OTF member dropped a cryptic tweet. They don't want to tell y'all who really flipped first. A few hours later, he posted a blurred photo of what looked like an OTF contract with blacked out names. Fans enhanced it, zoomed in, and found initials that matched Lil Durk's real name, Durk Banks. That post got deleted in 10 minutes. But the screenshots didn't. Suddenly, every hip-hop page was covering it. Everyone wanted the truth. And that's when things took another wild turn. King Von's name got dragged back in. A voice memo leaked from someone who claimed to be at Von's old studio. In the recording, the voice said, Von warned him. Said they'd switch when he got too big. It sounded eerie, almost prophetic. The leak reignited everything. People started romanticizing Von as the one who saw it coming. And for Durk, that was salt in the wound. The internet was rewriting history, painting him as the cold-hearted boss who turned his back on family, when in reality, he was trying to survive betrayal from inside. By now, fans were split right down the middle. Half believed Durk had become controlling. The other half said he was protecting himself from snakes. Either way, OTF wasn't the same. But here's where it gets even darker. Reports surfaced that one of Durk's former crew members tried to shop a tell-all documentary to a streaming service. The title? Inside OTF, The Truth They Won't Tell. Allegedly, it includes private footage, unseen texts, and unreleased studio videos of arguments between Durk and the team. If that's real, it could blow the whole thing open. Because this isn't just beef, it's a battle for the narrative. And the scariest part? The longer Durk stays silent, the more power those outside voices get. That's why insiders say Durk has been quietly working on something. A final statement, not an interview or tweet, but an album. A full project addressing everything. Word is, he's calling it the Book of Loyalty. They say every song is aimed at a specific person, coded messages for each betrayal. And if that's true, we're about to hear Lil Durk like never before, raw, personal, and unforgiving. But before that project drops, another shock hits social media. A leaked photo of Durk sitting in a meeting with two former enemies. One of them, a rapper who'd previously dissed OTF, now working with Durk's new label division. It's almost poetic. While his old brothers were busy dissing him, Durk was building a whole new empire from the ashes. And that's the part nobody saw coming. Because this wasn't the end of OTF, it was a rebirth. When Lil Durk went silent after the leaks, everyone thought he was hiding. But what they didn't realize was, he was planning his revenge. Not through drama, not through lives, not through blogs, but through music. Months passed. The streets were quiet, at least on the surface. The same people who once dropped diss tracks had gone ghost. But behind the scenes, whispers started. Durk was in the studio non-stop. Day and night. Producers flying in. Writers being told to sign NDAs. Phones collected at the door. Nobody knew what was coming, but everyone felt something big was brewing. Then one morning, Durk posted a single tweet. Drop of blood, the book of loyalty. It's time. No caption. No date. Just that sentence. It was all the internet needed to explode. Bloggers lost their minds. He finally speaking on the betrayal. This the OTF tell-all in album form. Fans started predicting which songs would be aimed at who. Titles began circulating: Betrayal Ain't Business, Snakes in Designer, Family Discount, Fake Tears. Nobody knew if they were real, but they sounded real enough to go viral. Then, a clip surfaced from a private listening session in Atlanta. The beat was dark, the lyrics colder. Durk's voice came through raw. I fed the wolves and they bit my hand / I built the bridge they tried to burn again. That one line shook the internet. The blogs called it Durk's Jay-Z 444 moment. It wasn't about drill anymore, it was about truth. When the Book of Loyalty finally dropped, the first 24 hours broke records. It became Durk's most streamed release since 7220. But the songs? They weren't just hits, they were confessions. In one track, Brothers Gone Cold, he rapped, "We came from hunger, split the crumbs / you took my trust and sold it, son." Everyone knew who he was talking about. Another one, Paper Trails, had a line that fans quoted everywhere. "Contracts made us strangers, loyalty don't got lawyers." That verse hit like a shot fired straight through the OTF walls. Every name that had been throwing shade before went quiet. No responses. No disses. Just silence. And that silence said it all. People started calling it poetic justice. Durk used the same mic that built his empire to bury his betrayal. But it wasn't all bitterness. Halfway through the album, there was a surprise, a song called Long Live the Bond. It wasn't angry. It was mournful. Durk opened up about King Von, saying, "If you could see me now, you'd tell me cut them off sooner." That track trended for days. Even old OTF members reposted it with broken heart emojis. For a moment, everyone remembered what OTF was supposed to be, brotherhood, not business. Then the twist came. A bonus track leaked 3 days after release, not on streaming, but from a YouTube channel that had only one upload. The track was titled Letter to the Traitor. In it, Durk dropped bars that fans swear confirmed who really betrayed him. "You had my keys, my crib, my name / sold me out for a viral frame / said you love me. That was your pitch / but loyalty ain't something you switch." The voice in the background ad-libbing? Fans said it sounded like Buka 600. Nobody could prove it, but the internet connected the dots anyway. Within hours, the mystery channel vanished. But the song had already done its job. It closed the book, literally. And just when everyone thought the story was over, something wild happened. During a surprise show in Chicago, Durk brought out one unexpected guest, Memo 600. The same guy fans thought he'd cut off permanently. The crowd lost it. Phones out. Cameras flashing. The two embraced. No words, just a handshake and a hug. That one moment shifted the narrative again. Maybe the betrayal didn't end in revenge. Maybe it ended in growth. Later that night, Durk told the crowd, "I ain't beefin' with nobody who helped me build this. We all made mistakes. But loyalty don't mean stayin' the same, it mean learnin' from the pain." The place erupted. Fans flooded social media saying, "Durk really the definition of evolving. This how you handle snakes, you outgrow them." And that was the genius of it. While everyone else chased drama, Durk turned his into a documentary-level album. A healing process disguised as a warning. But even with that piece, there was still mystery. Insiders claimed one verse on the album hinted that someone still inside OTF was feeding information to outsiders. Durk didn't name names, but he left a breadcrumb. The loudest love always fade first. Fans have been dissecting that line ever since. Some think it's about business. Others think it's about blood. Either way, Durk made one thing clear. Loyalty, once broken, never returns the same. Now, months later, his inner circle looks smaller but stronger. New faces, new producers, new direction. He's even mentoring upcoming Chicago artists privately, trying to build what OTF was supposed to be in the first place. And as for the old crew, some reconciled quietly. Some disappeared from the spotlight entirely. A few tried comeback singles, but none hit the same. Because the truth is, Durk moved on. He evolved. He turned his pain into purpose. And the same fans who once doubted him now see the bigger picture. This wasn't betrayal destroying OTF. It was betrayal forcing Durk to rebuild. The irony? The same people who tried to tear him down ended up becoming the reason he became stronger. Like Durk said in one interview snippet after the album dropped, "Sometimes God expose who ain't for you before you get where you going. That's not loss, that's protection." Those words hit hard, especially for anyone who's ever built something from nothing and watched it break from the inside. The OTF Reborn chain wasn't just jewelry. It was prophecy. Because in the end, Durk didn't lose his circle, he refined it. And that's how he turned betrayal into legacy. So here's the truth. Lil Durk's story isn't just about betrayal. It's about evolution. About learning that sometimes, the people you build with aren't meant to stay till the end. The OTF split shook fans, divided friends, and fueled headlines, but it also exposed what fame really does. It magnifies loyalty until it cracks. What we saw wasn't a rapper losing control. It was a man realizing that love without trust is just PR, and loyalty without action is just noise. From King Von's loss to OTF's implosion, every chapter forced Durk to choose peace over pettiness. And that's why this story hit so deep. It wasn't another beef, it was a survival story. Now, with the Book of Loyalty, Durk closed one chapter and opened another, one that's bigger than music. It's about growth, silence, and power that doesn't need to shout. But what do you think? Did Lil Durk handle the betrayal right, or should he have exposed names directly? Do you believe the snakes are really gone, or are they just waiting for another chance? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your take might be the next headline. Speech balloon hit like if you've ever had to cut people off to protect your peace. Bell subscribe for more raw stories from the culture, real facts, fake drama, and everything between. Mobile phone with arrow, share this video if you stand with Durk and believe loyalty still matters. Because at the end of the day, this wasn't just about OTF. It was about every crew, every friendship, every bond tested by success. This story isn't ending, it's just beginning.